all these rejections from the middle Bollinger Band.
Resistance we're going to need.
If you actually see here, we get a
And we'll look for a healthy higher
I
low.
would not
don't have
be
the
convinced
pullback
to
to
enter
cross
long
structure.
trade.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Just recorded a nice 20-minute video without hitting record, so we'll try it again. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, BCH, BNB, we're going to take a look at them. Want to give a shout out to all the viewers. I've been giving some opinionated topics in the last 2 days about ETFs and collapses in the dollar and the government, and the comments were very civil, and I appreciate that. There was one thread where people went down the rabbit hole of starting to argue about religion, which, have at it. So, Bitcoin on the daily time frame. So at this point, we're looking at scenarios that we highlighted a few days ago. The potential bullish reversal inverted head and shoulders pattern needs to form the right shoulder here and head back to the upside. Why I do not feel that this is the most likely scenario is because, number one, the bulls have yet to prove significant strength on the daily. And number two is we need a 10% move just to get to this resistance level. So the odds that we form a shoulder and then we see a 10% move to resistance and then break that resistance for the breakout is not as likely, in my opinion, as a higher low on the daily and then a lower high and a tightening equilibrium range. So I'm going to be looking for a tightening range heading into this week and next weekend, or this weekend and next week. And we're going to be watching inside bars on the daily time frames today for short-term action. So first we'll talk short term, then we'll talk bigger picture for potential, strategies of setting up trades. The 4-hour time frame last night, we did see another leg down and a lower low, and that was another bear flag being confirmed, but the bulls bought that dip aggressively. So some shorts got trapped down there, but a rule of thumb that I have as a trader with stocks and everything is I don't enter bearish positions in oversold conditions. Yes, absolutely, there have been times in this market where you would still profit, but if you're looking at the broad, view of things, and you're talking, let's say 100 shorts that you open with 4-hour RSI oversold, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're likely to end up in a losing position more than half the time. So I don't like the risk to reward of a bearish entry in oversold conditions is what it boils down to. So the bulls did show up very aggressively, and this was an example why some shorts did get trapped on that. Not a lot, but definitely a move out of nowhere after a clear bear break. But the bulls have yet to follow through, and we need to see a 4-hour higher low and higher high for us to be confident that our daily higher low has been established and that the bulls can see some follow through. Just roughly visually here, I'd say the bulls getting back to the mid 6,500, 6,550 would give us a nice range for a potential lower high and a tightening range into next week. Obviously, news could give us the catalyst for the reversal, but I'm not going to hold out and hope for news. So 4-hour time frame, attempted bull flag here on Bitcoin. Our low of consolidation is 62.11, and our high, which is a double top, is 62.23. So looking at that on the hourly time frame, we essentially, it's actually 62.84. I gave the wrong level there, but it is a range of about $75 or so, and we're looking for a break of this range in the short term to dictate direction. So the clear double top. In terms of short-term trades, the bulls could put a stop loss below 6,211 for a tight stop, and any bears could have an exit if this double top does break. So there are clear short-term levels to be watching. As far as the longer-term positions, there's no rush here on this daily chart. We're going to see this daily chart tighten again, like I said, in my opinion, heading into next week. So I would rather wait for this tightening pattern to play out and then play the break, or at the very least, establish a partial position and then wait for a break to add to that position. So the bears obviously are still comfortable on the daily time frame. The bulls have to give the bears that punch in the mouth we keep talking about with a break of 6,800, and the bulls, or the bears I should say, again, not entirely comfortable. If I were a bear, I would want to wait to see if this 4-hour move gets some follow through. I could play that double top, but if I were not playing that double top and I was playing on the daily time frame, I'd want to wait for a daily little lower high to form before I do try to scale into a bearish entry. So the current setup that we have on the 4-hour time frame is distinguishing all these names from each other. And I would say that BCH and BTC are the closest to each other, and that's because on the 4-hour time frame, we have the consolidation and the inability for continuation at this point. So for BCH, support is 693.92, and resistance is the high of the move 706.60. And you can see on the hourly, we're trading within this range. We have not seen a clear break. We have a double top at 704, just like Bitcoin has a double top on its chart. and we're waiting for a break of this tight channel to indicate momentum. If we look at the other names, Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame, this is the second time that Ethereum and Litecoin in the past few days have seen continuation, but because Bitcoin has not followed along, it's ended up being a potential fake out. So we had the top of the bull move, we consolidated, we saw continuation, but because Bitcoin was rejected, that stopped the bulls dead in their tracks, and we started consolidating again. So it's really Bitcoin holding these names back. These bulls are ready to go, but have to see Bitcoin break its double top for that follow through. So support right now on ETH is 435.34 and 433.80 with resistance of 442.31. Same thing on the daily chart for these names. BCH, our higher low is trying to form on the daily, but we don't have confidence in that just yet. We need follow through for the bulls. Inside bar forming on the daily. Ethereum, same thing. Inside bar on the daily. We need follow through. I would be looking for a lower high around 460s, the low 460s, but have to see Bitcoin change that 4-hour trend in favor of the bulls. So Litecoin on the 4-hour, same thing as well. We had the brief consolidation. It was a bull flag ready to go for continuation, but no follow through thanks to Bitcoin being a bit of a dead weight. So support on Litecoin is 76.80. Resistance was 78.10. We broke it. So now it's 78.49. And we're watching the hourly higher lows trying to maintain for these names. And we will lose these hourly higher lows if Bitcoin breaks the low of consolidation of 6,211. So the range on Bitcoin is very important to dictate what the rest of these names do. And even BNB is getting in on the action in terms of correlating to all these names now. So the 4-hour time frame, here's our consolidation. We got the continuation, but there's the upper wick, just like Ethereum and Litecoin, with the inability to follow through. Support right now is 12.25 and resistance is 12.46. Longer term picture for BNB, we have a pretty key weekly support approaching. And if we lose that, we lose the uptrend on the weekly that has been intact for months. So 1160 is a very key support. Some people were bottom fishing that support on the pullback yesterday, and that Bitcoin bull move definitely gave some nice short-term gains on that bottom fishing entry, but the bulls are nowhere near out of the woods because this daily chart is forming an inside bar just like everybody else, and we're not confident at all that the bulls are going to be able to hold this support. I need to see the bulls make a move back into the 13s to see a solid bounce from this support. And even if we do get a bounce on the daily, it will just be a lower high if it's under 1485, which is likely. So in order to change this daily trend, we're going to need to see a bounce, likely set a lower high, need a higher low, and then a higher high to change the daily trend to make us confident that this weekly support can hold. So we're in a scenario in this market still where the bears have the upper hand, they have momentum, they don't have to prove much to us. It's up to the bulls, the burden of proof lies on these bulls to break resistance, follow through, and at this point, best case scenario for the bulls, in my opinion, is to see these tightening daily ranges. So best case scenario, not entirely exciting for the bulls, unless, of course, news comes out. Then we could get this inverted head and shoulders breakout, but I don't like to ever base any positions hoping for news to save that position and make that trade follow through. So that's where we stand on the market. Fairly quick update because it's all about that short-term time frames and the daily inside bars. If those daily inside bars break bearish, it's back to the bears in full control. Otherwise, we are watching for the bulls to show us some increasing volume, some breaks in the lower highs, and some follow through to give us tightening daily ranges. So I appreciate you watching. I know you all continue to do good things. I hope you have a good day, and we'll check back in tomorrow to see how these daily inside bars do break. For the end of the video here, we've got some clips. The first one mentioned how we had the surprise pregnancy from the pig, so we moved the pig into the shower upstairs. So the first one is a picture or a video of her feeding her babies. Second one is Nerdbird, who is always the last one to go into the coop every night. All the chickens make their way into the coop on their own. I would have to come out and encourage Nerdbird back into the coop because she just wanted to hang out in the dusk. And then we got the goats playing on a hot tub shell. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day.
You little nerd bird.